And this was several years ago, Calhoun County Technical Center, they wanted to try to have some of their students who were in high school dually enrolled in their high school health science program, plus all the other requirements to graduate from high school, and be dually enrolled in one of the community college's LPN programs. So the lady who taught at the tech center, she had taught this for 20 or 30 years, so if anybody could do it, she could. And so she picked her top students to try to see how they would be successful. And they were very unsuccessful at it. Partly, well, number one, okay, you have high school students who are trying to enjoy their senior year. So they didn't want to miss this pep rally or miss this game or miss this whatever, miss this dress-up day because that was their last hurrah. And then they weren't able to focus so much on their nursing classes because they still had to try to graduate from high school. They still had those requirements like government and their core and all that kind of stuff. So it was just really tough on them, and they weren't mentally prepared for it. They weren't mature enough to handle all that. Well, I mean, even freshmen in college are not ready for that.
No.
So
even seniors in college.
Right. So right now, I know. I don't think I'm ready either. I still do something, but. Now I've got the equipment. We just got a new school 2 years ago. I got actually my lab is competitive even with Shelton State Community College, which is in Tuscaloosa County where I teach. I actually had one of their nursing professors come by last week to speak to my kids just about their program and things like that. And she was like, "This is better than what we have because I just got me a new simulator. I don't know how to work it yet. All I know is that I can make the vomit sound and like moan. That's it." But I'm going to a class in 2 weeks, and I just haven't had time to play with it. But, I have 6 stations, and I have, ICU beds, and you just name it, like, top-notch, and it's really great. So now I have the facilities, but I didn't have all the equipment that was needed to start the CNA program. So now I do, because there were some things that the simulator providing for me. So next year, hopefully my students will be credentialed to be CNAs at the end. So now they're just credentialed in CPR and first aid. They're able to do things. I teach them to put in Foley catheters and start IVs and give injections and stuff like that. They're just not licensed to do it, but they know how to do it. So it's really fun. But at the end, they don't have any type of certification. So, but some of them, they take the class for different reasons. Some of them have no interest in being a nurse. They may want to work in medical records, or they may want to work at a vet's office. So they don't really care so much about being a CNA.
Right.
So you have to kind of, there's a lot that we have to deal with.
So do you just have seniors?
In my clinicals class, I teach upperclassmen 10th, 11th, and 12th, but my internship class where we go out to clinicals and job shadow, those are all seniors. And I have 20 of those this year. So the biggest class I've ever had internship was when Blair and all of her buddies were in there, and I couldn't tell any of them no. That was 28 kids, and that's a lot to have to try to find clinical for high school students.
Do you go with them on clinicals?
I do. Mostly what our students do is really just a job shadow. Okay, they can help. They have basic CNA skills when they get to clinical, and I tell them, hey, if somebody's coding, you jump in there and do CPR. You can do the compressions, or you can, press the ambu bag, or you can do whatever. Or if somebody needs, their sheets changed, you know how to do that. Get in there, jump in there, and do it. And they can do those things under the supervision of somebody else. Now I have to go like float around, making sure everybody's where they're supposed to be, and then by that time it's time to leave. So there's not really a skill that they need my direct supervision in performing, because they can just change a bed sheet with somebody else watching. So, but anyway, it's very interesting. It's a kind of a make or break thing. I try to put the students where their interest is. This one girl, she's like, I just can't be a nurse. I'm like, what do you want to do? Well, I want to work with medical records, and then another one wants to work in the dental field. So it's not always the hospital that we go to. It's medical professions that I teach, not just nursing. So, I have to find doctor's offices, vet's offices. We did a chiropractor last year. So one wanted to go into ultrasound, and her mom worked at an OBGYN who they don't accept students. So but they let her go, and she went every Tuesday and Thursday, and she actually got to do ultrasounds on pregnant people and stuff like that. So it was pretty cool. So.
All right. Ready to break.